we are a community of crazy people that don't have a social life and like to share our knowledge and invite people to share their knowledge. So this is an official Salesforce group, so to say. So we do need to have, as I explained, authorization from Salesforce to actually do these kind of things. But this is not Salesforce. I'm not Salesforce. I just work with Salesforce and I love Salesforce. So before I proceed, I want to give many thanks to Ascendix. I know there are a couple of people here, but I'm looking to you because everything came through you, Arthur. Thank you very much for being our host. And also thank you very much to Titan, that guy there that speaks a little bit Portuguese, as he says. So Titan, who doesn't know what Titan is? Okay.
Because I'm still studying. But,
Okay. It's a great tool, and he will for sure talk about it later. And they are our sponsor because we did some kind of agreement without giving any details, but some kind of agreement for being our sponsor for the community during 1 year. So thank you, Titan, for being here. So the agenda, we always put here 6 p.m., but we always know it's never 6 p.m. So we always know also that it never ends at 8:15. So if you have your wife, your partner, your husband, your whatever children, call them. You are going to be late. So I do a short welcome message. Then at 6:25 plus 20 minutes from now, we have the lady that doesn't speak Portuguese talking about Salesforce Commons. Then we have the Titan guy. And sorry, this is very informal, so I like to speak informal also. So please allow me to talk like this. Then we have Arthur, of course, Andrea, and then at the end we have the Kahoot. That's what we all came for, probably. So the Kahoot, who doesn't know what Kahoot is, by the way? You don't know what Kahoot is? No, come on. No? No. But it's not your first time here, right?
No, but not Kahoot.
Okay, so Kahoot is just an app. We have some prizes to give, not these ones, so don't look at them. This is just for, style. But we have some prizes. We always give prizes because I think it's nice to have this kind of interactions. So you have to listen, of course, what everyone is saying, including what I am saying, because they are prizes. Okay, so my name. Miguel Carvalho. I am Portuguese, based in Amsterdam officially. I always say this, but the last time I was in Amsterdam was, I don't know, 2 months ago. But officially I live in Amsterdam. I am a Salesforce architect. I have 31 certifications because at the beginning it was like sort of joy, a game. It was fun. And I was in the Netherlands. I was also leading or co-leading a group there. So I wanted to motivate people, and I thought, well, let's how can I motivate people? Is by studying and showing that it's possible, even with a very complicated schedule. It's possible to learn Salesforce and grow. My colleague Daniel Baptista, introduce yourself.
hello.
Speak here to my. It's just a short
I can
thing.
talk like
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm Salesforce consultant. I've been working with Salesforce almost 5 years. I start working in Salesforce through the community. I met Miguel there, and I got a lot of help from Miguel and other members of the community. And now I'm trying to retribute that thing, and I love to do this kind of events. Try to help professionals or someone new that wants to come to work with us, to Salesforce, to the Salesforce environment. And for me, it's always great to meet people, and of course to change some thoughts about the Salesforce life and about the trailhead, because I love these kind of things, and for me is the best. The community, the Salesforce community is the best in this world. So
You said it all.
okay.
Yeah. So we are two crazy people that, again, oh, it's your alarm. Oh my God. No, leave it on. I like those kind of. So, how did this started? So, as I said, in the Netherlands, I was also co-organizing events similar like this. And I always forget it, in November 2018, this means it's probably a question for the Kahoot, or not, I'm not sure, but one of these dates are, so don't forget it. I thought, let's start a Salesforce Saturday. Who doesn't know what a Salesforce Saturday is? Salesforce Saturday. No? Yeah, I know. What is the Salesforce Saturday? Tell me. You were at one.
At one of them.
I think you were.
So it's a Salesforce event on a Saturday? I don't know.
Here, you have a free prize. Very good. Yeah. No, Salesforce Saturday is, yeah. So on Saturdays in the morning, we go to a public place, and we just go to Meetup, the platform Meetup, right? To Meetup, you create an event. You say, hey guys, I'm a Salesforce freak and I want to share my knowledge. Come, we drink a coffee and we learn Salesforce. So Salesforce Saturday started it back in the US. I don't know when, but okay, it started somewhere, and everyone sort of started doing in their own country, in their own city, and it is something not organized. So it's not sponsored by Salesforce or it's just someone crazy like myself said, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I went, and by the way, as I said, I live in Amsterdam, but here in Portugal, I live in Coimbra. So what I did, I went to Lisbon, I went to Porto, totally outside of my zone, and I thought, let's go and start doing something. Well, on this day, as you can see, 7 attendees in year 11, but that's all, I cannot say a very ugly word, but that was not true. They really said they were going, but they didn't appear. So I went to Lisbon, and I was the only one in the cafe. To Porto, it was the same. I came to the cafe, 11 people said they would come, and I was the only one. But I didn't, I thought, well, no worries, I do it again a month later. And I did it, and I did it. And at some point, people started coming. And Salesforce Saturdays, again, is to share knowledge. We studied together for exams, or we, just learn, exactly. That is Salesforce Saturday. So I don't do it anymore, I have to say. I stopped doing this exactly, I think COVID came, and then I did it online a couple of times, but it lost kind of the human interaction. So I thought, well, I don't do it anymore. Because in the meanwhile, in 2019, and I think this is the question, in 2019, I started this group. So this is an official authorized group by Salesforce. I already explained why Porto, but oh no, I explained it to you, sorry, I didn't explain to the rest. So if you want to start a group like this, you need to ask Salesforce for permission, and they see, okay, in this city already exists something, in this city doesn't exist, and then it depends on the cities. And I thought, well, why not? At the time, something similar existed in Lisbon, and I thought, well, why not? Porto is, for me, the biggest city, the most nearby Coimbra, so I thought, let's do Porto. But the truth is that we started doing events everywhere up until late year, sort of, yeah. And we do it in like Covilhã, Guarda, other, not only the big cities, but also the other cities. So that was really a great, turn of events. So we are sort of organized within within what is possible. We have a WhatsApp group. You have to pay €1 to actually be a member. No, just kidding. No, you can just be a member. And we also, of course, you know this one because otherwise you wouldn't be here. This is the official Trailblazer group community page. But if you want to be part of the WhatsApp group, you can just scan or Google it, or I don't know how you can find it, but probably on our page. In which we basically, sometimes there are people asking questions, sometimes nothing happens during weeks, sometimes there are job offers, there's everything going on, Salesforce related, of course, okay? As I said, it's not quiz time yet, but at the end, we will have the Kahoot for the quiz. In the meanwhile, if you want to download the app, it's not necessary, but if you want to download the app, it's free. You can also do it with your browser. In the meanwhile, just Google it. What I want to talk about that I'm very proud of. Oh, sorry, I have to go back. I'm completely forgetting. Sometimes I talk and I forget to say things. I don't have a script. I hate scripts. But so when I started this in 2019, this actually gives a lot of work. People sometimes don't really understand what this means, organizing an event like this. But it's really, it gives, so it takes some effort because we need to have sponsors, we need to have hosts, we need to have speakers. So at some point I met, as Daniel said, he was one of the attendees, and I love this guy from the beginning. No, we don't have everyone is asking this. I will say no. And he really thinks like me and he acts like me. So I said to him, will you join me and be the co-leader of this group? And he gladly accepted it. And since then, really things turned, completely different, right? So we are very different than the normal user groups. Sometimes we have live music. We don't do that for a while, but we have live music. Sometimes we have the craziest things. So if this is your first time, you should repeat it, okay? But thank you, Daniel, for joining this group, because really this was a huge win. Then we are very proud to talk about Portugal Dreaming. Who doesn't know what Portugal Dreaming is? Ooh, shame on you. Okay, so Portugal Dreaming is the next step in these kind of events. So this is what we call an official Salesforce conference. And this means that, I don't know what the exact definition is, and I have to be very careful. I always look, because this lady works for Salesforce. So, shh. Oh, I cannot say that?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, so I have to be very careful sometimes, because I think she's talking directly with the boss, and then, so no. So this is a Salesforce conference. So it's like a huge event, and it happens once a year. And I will say every country, but that's not totally true. But almost every country has like a dreaming event like this. The name, why it is called Dreaming, I'm not sure the true story. I have heard many stories, but we also call it a dreaming event, so Portugal Dreaming. And the first time was last year in Lisbon. That was some of you saw the movie. I think it comes again, right? Okay. So it was a huge success, I think. We are not an official professional organizer, event planner or whatever, but I think we did an amazing job and I'm very proud of it. And again, Portugal Dreaming is like an event in which we have international speakers, also Portuguese speakers, but more international. They come from everywhere. Also the attendees are from everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, it's really everywhere. It's from the United States to Dubai to this year we will have from Ghana, Nigeria, everywhere. So I'm very proud of it. You can also go to our page or LinkedIn, whatever, YouTube, search for Portugal Dreaming. You will see what kind of event it was. It was really amazing. Okay, I know I talk too much, so I will say just thank you. Next slide. Sorry. I know, next slide. I just want to say thank you. And I hope you have fun and learn something. And I will call to the stage our lovely non-Portuguese speaker. You can introduce yourself. Thank you very much.
I told Daniel that I would do this in 5 minutes. So Boa tarde. Chama-me Roan. Estou a aprender português, mas falo pouco, so I will speak English. Desculpe. I wanted to, next slide, please. Oh, I started the timer. Talk to you a bit about the Salesforce Commons project. If you haven't heard about it before, it's a Trailblazer community that's supported by Salesforce. People from all around the world get together to develop solutions that are open source and free that support the nonprofit and education sectors. But the solutions that they develop are available for the whole ecosystem. So one of the most popular ones, if you haven't heard about it, the declarative lookup rollup summaries tool is fondly known as Dolores. If you need to roll up data from related records, it's an amazing tool. And the one I wanted to speak to you about is my project, Sticky Selectron. Next slide, please. So this came up because we were working with one of the largest housing providers in the United States. And oftentimes events that are sponsored by the nonprofit actually are more than one service at a time. So an example would be an after-school program, might also provide lunch, and might also have school homework tutoring. And what that meant is that when the staff needed to record services, they would select their 40 students that attended the after-school program, add them to the service for after-school program, and they'd have to select them again. And they'd have to select them again for each service. And this was very prone to errors, incredibly frustrating for the staff, and really helped with harmed user adoption. So next slide, please. So we came up with the Sticky Selectron. So the Sticky Selectron is sticky because it's going to persist the records that have been selected across multiple screen flows. It's a Lightning Web component. It's assigned to fit into a screen flow, and it's fast for up to 2,000 records. So just a little bit about since we're Salesforce people, we want what's under the hood. This is a display of records that have been delivered to the flow from your collection. This is a collection that you define of the selected records. That means that you can perform operations on the records that have been selected in the background. The user doesn't have to see it. And there's also things like variables showing you how many records they've selected and how many total records are available. So you can present a user-friendly message like, your 4 students have been added to the after-school program. Do you want to do something else on your screen flows? And the beautiful thing about this component is it's object agnostic. So it works on standard objects and it works on custom objects. So there's lots of business uses that you might think about. For example, event registrations where you're recording everybody that came, but some of them saw a demo and some of them went to the special lunch. And instead of going through it each time, you can iterate. So next slide, please. Why am I here? We're almost ready for a soft launch and we're a small group and we're looking for help. So I told my folks, most of them in Hawaii, that I would come here today and just let you know about the opportunities. We're looking for marketing people, people that like to do documentation, or even developers that want to help get it to the next level. And if you're not interested in this particular project, I do encourage you to look at the Commons in general to see if there's a program you want to get involved in. They do community sprints, and it's a really nice group of dedicated people. And I'm less than 5 minutes.
Very good.
And I just want to say I'm happy to be here. My oldest dev org turns 20 in June. So I've been around a long time. Just happy to be here.
Nice.
If you have any questions, I'll be back there.
Very good. All right, so next, the the Titan guy. The Titan.
Well, good night. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Miguel, Daniel, and Arthur and Ascendix teams for receiving all of us. I'm going to talk a little bit of Titan today and what we've been doing to help our customers and partners to succeed, to have a better performance on the Salesforce ecosystem. So next slide, please. So Titan is a no-code platform for Salesforce. No-code means that everything we do with Titan is much faster to create, much faster to implement, and much easier to maintain after implemented. And we are a product made for Salesforce. So what that means? That means that everything you do with Titan connects well with any kind of data anywhere on Salesforce in real time. And next slide, please. Okay, great. So we now have more than 2,000 customers, and we've been helping these customers in their daily routine with Salesforce with a complete suite of products that goes from document generation. You can generate any type of document with all data coming directly from Salesforce and send these documents to one signer, multiple signers, and even a dynamic amount of signers. We also have a product called CLM, Contract Lifecycle Management, through which you can manage the whole life cycle of your contracts. We also do forms, from simple forms to much more complex operations involving multiple steps, conditional logic, documents upload. We also create portals, and from simple portals and also complex portals operation involving payment integration, surveys, again, integrated with Salesforce, exchanging data in real time with Salesforce. We nowadays have 14 payment integration partners. We also do e-commerce on top of Salesforce. And we have a product called Roan, which is for customers that already have CPQ, but they want to create more friendly interface proposals. Just a number of, just some market information. We nowadays have a win rate of 70% against DocuSign and 80% against Conga, mostly because of our fully integration with Salesforce, so with data coming in and on in real time. We are currently one of the best rated apps on App Exchange of Salesforce, which is very important for us because we have more than 300 5-star reviews, and it's all from partners and customers, so it's impartial, and that's great. I will now show you how we work. I will do a little demonstration for you and show an example of Porto entirely built on Titan, and I will also show you our builder, how it works, how we manipulate things on our builder, and how it's easy to work with Titan. Yeah, yeah. Now I need to use the computer here. Yeah. So as you see, this is an example of a Porto for a bank. Of course, this is just an example. You can do whatever you want here with Titan. No limits in terms of creation. And now let's suppose here that we have all information here, no limits in terms of colors. You can bring your brand here. And now let's suppose I'm a customer of this bank here. I will request a loan. So here we have the first aspect of conditional logic. If we click, the portal is asking me if I'm a customer of the bank. If I say no, I will be directed to a registration page, and I can register myself, and this will automatically create a contact on Salesforce in real time with all the data being pushed to Salesforce. And if I click on yes and click on continue, I will be directed to a login page. I will log in here with my email. What is it? Yeah. So I will log in with with an email here, but I could be logging in with a cell phone, with an ID number, with any object, any existing object on Salesforce. I will go ahead. I could also have here a password or a double an authentication process, receiving a code via email, but it was more simple here. And when I log in, I will access my own profile here with all this data coming directly from Salesforce. We here have a 6-step process, but we could have 10, 15 steps, how many steps we want to have. So I will now go ahead here. Important. So we can also update information here without leaving the portal. Let's suppose I'm not in Portugal, but in UK. If I click on next and go back to the page, you see the information corrected here, updated here in real time. So and it's already updated on Salesforce as well. So I'll go ahead here. We have lots of information that we could bring to the portal. Let's keep going ahead. Another aspect of conditional logic here. I'll go ahead. I could create an account, add an additional account. I'll go ahead here. And here the bank is asking me if I can authorize them to analyze my profile. I will authorize them to analyze my profile. And then I'm here in a page with upload capabilities. So I can upload any type of document, and these documents will be saved directly on Salesforce. It's important to highlight that we don't keep data with us. The data is are saved directly on Salesforce. But sometimes the Salesforce storage can be more expensive. So then the customers also have the opportunity to save the files on Google Drive and OneDrive and any other options. So here I will submit my request, and we'll choose an option here. So that's it. The portal is already generating the document without need to leave the portal. So it's very important to automate the process. And all of this data is coming directly from Salesforce. So you can see that the country already updated there. UK here. I will go ahead. You can analyze your document and sign it directly here on the portal. So I will sign it here. I will finish my process and submit. So, and it's done. So it's important to highlight that this portal was entirely created without using a line of code. So it's possible to create a portal like this with all these features in 3 hours, for example. So, and it's very cheaper to work like this. So I will go ahead now and just show you our builder and how it works and how it's easy to work with our builder. Yes. Okay. Great. I will access.
So how does it work for users that want to sign to sign themselves and submit for a loan? Do you need any kind of licensing? Because I'm looking at this and I'm recalling the Experience Cloud portals that you might have, and then you actually need users for that. So you don't need any kind of user for this. How does it work?
Yes, we don't need users. We just pay for Titan platform and go ahead. Yeah.
Is there a limitation on the number of users?
No.
The license?
No. You can have 10,000 users, 100,000 users. Doesn't matter. I will show how it works now. And my main intention here is to show how the integration works easily. So, and how it's easy to, I will create a little portal here in about 10 minutes, maybe, or less. Great. So, spray. Oh. Okay. So this is our interface. This is our builder. And first of all, it's important to highlight that it's here adjusted to desktop, but you can automatically adjust it to laptop, tablet, mobile, whatever you want. So let's suppose I want to create a small internal portal here for a team that wants to manage cases on Salesforce. Let's suppose. So let's suppose I need to bring a strip of course, I have standard strips here, but you can create your all standard templates, your all standard strips with your brand here. So let's suppose I also need to create a form. I will select the numbers of columns. I can have 1, 2, 3. I just need 1 here. I will choose an action. I can create data. I can read data, update data. I will create an object on Salesforce. I will choose my object. So let's suppose I set cases, right? So I will bring cases here. All right. So let's add some fields. I want to have the subjects of the case. I also want to have the priority. And I also have the contact ID. I will add it to the page, just a little example. So I already have my form done here. It's already integrated to Salesforce, pushing data to Salesforce and pulling data from Salesforce, right? It's here, but let's go ahead. Let's suppose I also want to bring a table. To display my cases here, my Salesforce organization cases. So here, I have conditional logic. I also have conditional logic here. I will come back here in a moment. And here we can map our fields. So subject, priority, and contact ID. We can also allow people to edit the information on the portal without needing to leave the portal. So, okay, I will apply, and it's here. My table is here, available. We can adjust it here, work with it. It's very simple. Sorry, as I said, this is a new laptop for me. I've not used it to it, but it's okay. So it's just, okay, let's save it here and preview just to check how we are going, how we are evolving with. So this is how it's, this is the face, our interface here. So you can see that we already have some cases here. This is all my Salesforce org cases, but let's go ahead and add conditional logic here and bring login capability to this portal, right? So let's go back to the builder, and I will now create a login capability here. It's done, simple like that. And let's say that I want just people who is, I want people who is logging in to see just their own cases. So let's say this, I will be back here. I will add the conditional logic here. So let's say that I want this contact ID to be equal to the field ID. I will click on next and apply. I will save and preview it. So now I have to log in. I will log in with my personal email. By the way, my name is Daniel Bocardo. Okay. Oh. Yeah, now I learned it. Okay, let's go ahead. Again, I kept it more simple here, but we could have a password to FE authentication process. Let's go ahead here. So I logged in, and you can see that I now have only my cases here, the cases related to my profile. And let's go a little ahead again, and I will create a case here on the portal. So let's say it's an Ascendix case, high priority because it's Ascendix, right? Okay, and contact ID, Daniel Bocardo, it's mine. I will create the case here. It's here. I will just update my page. And we can see, as you can see, you have the case here, Ascendix. So, and it's already created on Salesforce in real time as well. So that's it for today. And this is just a little example of how we can work together. Imagine all type of use cases we could have here, and all problems we could solve in a matter of hours, days. No, just okay. Thank you, everyone. Sorry for anything. A question? Sure.
I think that you created the contact ID field.
Yeah.
But is it possible to show instead of the ID, like the name of the contact, or
Yes.
make it a link, or?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to schedule a meeting as well?
Let's go away.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Are you hearing me? So if you have any question, just ask, right? Okay. Arthur, the big Arthur.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Miguel, for giving us an opportunity to host such an event. I think we are enjoying so far, right? I hope that's not a marathon for you, because I know you're sitting for a long time. So if you want a break, let me know and we can organize that, okay? But if not, let's hop into the topic of AI agents. I'm going to share with you today the AI agents that we've built for our clients in commercial real estate. Also, I will share with you the framework that you can use to discover the use cases for AI agents with your clients, with your team members, for your business. And my name is Arthur Ambartsumyan. I'm Director of Salesforce Practice at Ascendix Technologies. And speaking of Ascendix, while our main focus is in commercial real estate, we also provide professional services, consulting services to several other business domains. And we are proud to be a Summit Salesforce partner. We have our products listed on AppExchange. And a little more background about the company. It was founded by two friends, Wes Snow and Todd Terry, almost 30 years ago. And it was started in Texas. And right now we have offices and employees all over the world. And next, let's talk about agents. So this is an external agents. So we were talking about experience portals, right? Experience Cloud. And this is exactly the agent that we've built for the public portal. Basically, this is a listing portal for commercial real estate company where the company, the business is showing to the potential buyers what available spaces do they have. And here you see the simple case, like chatting with an agent, hey, can you find me office properties in Dallas under 500K? And immediately, the agent responds with the data from Salesforce. So you can see here that the data on the website, on the public portal is also changed. And what it gives us, it saves time for this first interaction for the broker or whomever is working with those listings and the potential buyer. It gives them simplified interface. You don't have to deal with this filters. You don't have to care about misspellings in the region, let's say, or use this rollers to put the exact price that you want. You're just chatting with an agent and immediately receiving the results. And that brings us to the next step, which is about data that is important for business to make decisions. So basically, on this example, we see that the potential buyer is interested in one of the properties listed on the portal. And they are chatting with an agent saying that, please contact me. I'm really interested in this property. And an agent collects the required information for the broker to continue the conversation with the potential buyer. This is a simple case, and use cases is a very important topic today, but it shows how you can build something similar. It's not even maybe not related to commercial real estate, to any other business that have public websites that can expose some data from Salesforce to their potential buyers, to their potential prospects, and and do it effectively and collect all the required data for future predictions, say. And the next example will be about an internal agent. So by internal agent, I mean basically a broker assistant. You can see here, and this is just an example, but imagine I'm a broker and I just had a call with Mark Benioff. And I'm saying to my assistant, hey, I just had a call with Mark Benioff from Salesforce, and he's looking for office space in Porto. And he is going to host their 1,000 employees. What I can do with my assistant is I can create immediately the records, like the contact record, the company record. I can connect them, and they will be created, and I will receive feedback in my agent, and I will have the records in the system. So it also can be done with voice to text. Basically, you can use on mobile phone the virtual keyboard, or on your desktop, you can use the hotkeys to just tell the assistant what you want and send this information to him, and then he will handle everything for you. So that is not an end. Suddenly, I remember the best practices of the sales processes, and I know that I need to follow up after my meeting immediately with at least something, with some email. And while I don't know any available spaces in Porto to lease or to sell to Salesforce, but I know about some of the developments that are happening. So I'm telling my agent, hey, I know that there is some development. I'm going to go and collect more information, and I will get back to Mark next week. So the agent drafts an email for me. I can continue my interaction like most of you do with ChatGPT or whatever LLM you're using. And I can continue refining this email and then just send it. So in this example, we have the employee assistant, broker assistant, but it's actually an employee assistant that you can use, or you can build a design for almost any business. One thing, and remember I said tell you about the use cases, is that the question that we receive often, and some of you, if you're in consulting or you're just a Salesforce admin for your organization, you may hear, wow, I heard about Agentforce, I heard about AI, let's implement something, right? But where do we start? And for that, we have developed for our consulting team the MAPS framework. So it consists of the 4 steps that will help you to discover this real use case that can drive the business value, that can give your team some benefits. The first step is map the problem. And map the problem is where you are playing kind of detective role, where you're trying to investigate where is the problem. The client comes to you and say, I don't know, I don't have enough data in my system to predict that, I don't know, my revenue is dropping next month. Or I have some gaps in this automation or flow. I don't know why my brokers do not enter company and contact data after the phone calls. So you start asking more questions, maybe more complex questions. You don't accept the first answer, right? So you start digging and digging and digging until you understand what is the core problem that you can work with. And I made mistake in the past. I've seen people making mistakes. They stop here and rush into solving this problem, right? But the next best step, as we discovered, is to align with people. And by aligning with people, we mean the users, potential users of your solution, potential teams, because the problem came from one person, and who knows what other users will experience when you deploy the solution to this problem. So you go and ask or discover through the conversation with the first requester, who are those users? Who are those teams? What problems do they have? Do these problems align with the first problem that we've identified? Maybe there are some other use cases. Maybe we can expand our scope of research, and the solution must be more abstract, so it will be maintainable and scalable and so on. So in this step, it's very important to understand who need to say yes in order for you to move forward confidently, to move forward to the third step. And the third step is to personalize the solution. And that is very important, step, not just because we need 3 steps or 4 steps. It's just it is because you need to help yourself to get the engagement from the users that will experience your solution in the future. And you will do that by helping them see themselves in this solution. You can do that by using their language, their terminology, the goals that they've set. So help them to contribute to the design, to this solution, and then you will get much more engagement during the UAT phases, the user acceptance testing, the adoption of your solution. So that is a very important step, and I could stop here and you could stop here because this is good enough. But the last step we recommend is to simplify the adoption. Nobody likes to read thousands of pages of documentation or go through the hours of training materials or just training sessions just to start using the solution, the system, right? We like to install the application on our iPhone or Android and click it, and it's intuitive. I know what to do, where to click, and then just getting things done. So that's where we've put our focus on this last step. If you get this simple adoption, if you invest a little bit more in the user experience, you will get happy users, you will get much more successful projects. So next time when you get this question like, I'm so excited, let's use AI, where do we start? You know that you have a framework, you have this checklist as you wish, to start to guide your discovery sessions and get the use case that would be valuable and will be effective. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I hope it was helpful. Thank you. If you want to connect with me in LinkedIn, I will be happy to accept all the connection invitations. I share there about AI, about technology, about commercial real estate, of course, and yeah, just about leadership. So if you're interested, connect with me and let's keep in touch. And one last slide is from our HR team, of course. Is if you will have in the future some desire or you will be looking for opportunities to change your career, there is an Ascendix LinkedIn page here and our career page on the website. Thank you. Really excited about our next speaker. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed and it was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for being here. It's a pleasure to be here all the way from Dublin, Ireland, where I'm located. But I'm originally from a tiny country in South America called Brazil. I've been all over the place, but I'll get to that. First of all, thank you for having us. Thank you for the invite. And thank you for your presentations because you sort of already talked about what I'm going to get. And before we get started, forward look statement. I am a Salesforce employee, but nothing in this presentation talks about products. But if I mention any product feature that might be coming in the future, please do not make purchases decisions based on this information. Only base your purchases decisions on currently available products and services. And if you have any questions, talk to your account executive. They are the best to advise you on that one. The other point I want to make is that when I received the invite, I wanted to bring and talk to you about Salesforce, a specific topic. And then I started thinking that there is things that I'm, as a former user, as an instructor, as an employee, I am passionate about. And I'm passionate about data quality, data assurance, data preparation. And what I love about the presentations that we saw, like the, I forgot the name, sorry, but I really appreciate, yes, the sticky selectron. What I love about it is because it's based on quality data, because she's identifying the products, the classrooms, the students, and create that repetitive selection in order to facilitate the day-to-day for their users, right? So what she's doing there is increasing productivity. What she's doing there is delivering a product that can be used many, many times in a simple way. What I love about your presentations, one, you talk about the declarative way to build a website, and you talk about a framework to build the business case for your customers on how to build an agent, is because you gave what you have to do. What is the problem? If you don't understand the why you have a problem, why are you telling me that you need a new API if you don't know what API means? Like, why are you asking this? Oh, you just need a report, not an API? Bingo. But I asked the question. So ask the question. Be a 3-year-old. Ask why. Because that makes a lot of a difference. So the reason I'm saying this is because it's going to make sense with what I'm going to say right now. And full disclosure, I intentionally am not using Salesforce branded slide deck or a lot of the images, because I want the focus to be on the data and how that will come together and be bring in a successful experience for you. By the way, my name is Andrea Carvalho. I am a principal technical instructor at Salesforce, and I spend my days teaching people how to use CRM analytics, Salesforce, Agentforce, and Service Cloud. So just a few things. But the reason I'm there is because I've been working with Salesforce ecosystem for the past almost 20 years. And for the past 5, on the 28th of May, I am a certified Salesforce instructor. So I've been not only helping organizations to build and maintain their systems, but also teaching many people like yourselves on how to get started. But one thing that what brought me to this career, what makes me passionate, and if you haven't noticed, drinking the Kool-Aid, is the fact that the community is our power, what gives our strengths and helps us grow. So do get connected, do get engaged with them locally, with myself or anybody else that you find inspiring in your career as a trailblazer. Let's talk about our agenda. So what are we talking about today is about why data matters, how to do an inventory, and quality, gaps, governance, and tying into Salesforce. So I'm going to talk about some Salesforce products as an example as supporting my theory, but I also want you to think about a broader picture data-wise. I do have a use case, but I love your real estate use case. I love your case management portal. Why? Because all of them, you were trying to make the agents more efficient. The sticky selectron, the main objective was create a solution that was automate the process, reduce the non-productive, non-really valuable tasks, and free up the time of that person to do something else. Salesforce has a really nice feature called Agentforce. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Agentforce, as we've seen on Ascendix example, it can be used to really power the customer experience, your user experience. So this way, the agent can take care of a lot of these things, and your person, your human, can look into what can I do that is more complex? What can I do that is really takes higher value for my organization, right? So I brought you a use case that I thought about. It's quite similar to yours. So CloudKicks, they just decided, I'm going to do an agent, and they did an agent. And they thought, my agent's going to be able to reduce the number of cases by 50%. So my people will be able to just focus on whatever, right? Wrong. Why do you think I could make that wrong? What was happening is that they did not probe the data. They did not probe the user case enough. And when the agent started working, the agents start creating more cases for the human. There were a lot more escalations on the cases because the agent was not able to get the right information. And what could cause the wrong or right information? What would be one guess from yourselves? What is a wrong or right information? What do you think in terms of data? Perfect. So lack of accuracy or inconsistency, right? So the data is missing. All those things. And I can tell you how many times I had this fight in many of my former organizations. If you don't have clean data, you're not going to have clean results, right? So in this case, the manager of Coral Cloud said, hey, I'm not liking this. Our agents, instead of having that 41% time free, it's still doing tasks that they are not supposed to. How can we do this? So he did an inventory. And in this inventory, what the manager was doing is like, okay, let's take a look. Where's my data coming from? What kind of data I'm getting? And who owns that? Right? Because the data can be many facets. You saw in the previous slide that we have an image where we have telephony here to be general, but I have phone calls coming to my agents. I have apps that my customer can use on the mobile and can ask questions. I have automations creating cases for my agents. I have an agent here creating cases for my agent. I might have web to case. I might have leads coming up and all creating things. Those are creating cases. They are also creating records. They're also creating other data that might sit in Salesforce and might sit somewhere else. So what kind of data am I bringing? What are structured data? What are unstructured data? So do I have emails? Do I have chat transcripts? Do I have knowledge articles? Those are my unstructured data. I have my data from Salesforce. So I have my customer contacts information. I have my accounts informations, right? So those are in different silos, agree? Like, because they're coming from different places. If I cannot unify them and create one single way to view them, that's gonna be really hard for me to start working. So he identified those. I have an inventory of what I need. I know my fields, my objects, I know my sources. Who owns that? So I start breaking those down into ownerships. So where does this data live? Is everything in Salesforce? Are they coming from AWS S3? Are they coming from Azure? Are they coming from Ascendix software? Where are they coming? Oh no, I'm coming from a Tidams database. Yeah, so where are they coming? The data. So you start kind of establishing that and start mapping up, okay, so what is coming from leads? What is coming in terms of contact information is coming from marketing. So marketing is the owner. I have leads information, I have opportunities. Those are owned by sales. I have some information about cases and so forth. So you start mapping up who owns that data. Why is that important? Because different organizations, you can say marketing, sales, different departments, different organizations might have different way to manage the data. So you might have to have different integrations or different management for those. You might have data cloud in your organization. You might have other data lakes that you use. But how do you bring this into one single place with Salesforce? For the benefit of this session, and because, of course, I'm a Salesforce employee, I'm talking about data cloud. And also I'm starting to certify on that one, so data cloud. So when we talk about data cloud, what is a benefit that we envision about data cloud? Anyone? Anyone? Data cloud? Because I can have multiple places where I have information about you, and I can bring them together in one single profile. I might have multiple data that I'm talking about cases, and I can unify them into one single source. So that is a great benefit for me. Once I identify that, let's start kind of putting those together. I have my use case. Yeah, I have my plan on how am I going to develop. And now I start kind of getting my systems. In this case here, do I have a pointer? Yes. In this case, no, it doesn't work. So I have my data lakes. I have my different sources. They're feeding into data cloud that is unifying, is creating a profile from the customer, is creating a profile for your business. And then my agent can see that in a single way, but I can also run analytics on top of it. Can be CRM analytics, can be Tableau, can be another tool. But I will be able to have a better view of my customer. To my person agent, major win. Because instead of having to go to 3 different systems to know that John is John DeRay and John D, he only goes to one place and he sees that John is all those 3 Johns together. Yeah? So that is a major win. For my Agentforce agent is a great resource because now Agentforce has better data, quality data, and doesn't have a lot of conflicts of information to resolve by itself. We reduce the time of processing, we reduce hallucination, we have better contextualizing grounding on your data, on your resource, pardon me. But data has some dimensions, and here are a few that I want you to remember. We need accuracy. So data has no value if the data in your system is not correct, is not accurate. And what I need by this, if your name, like mine, is Andrea, your name anywhere is going to be spelled Andrea. You're not going to have Andre accent IA, as many times happened before for me in Brazil. Because legally, if I sign a document with a different spelling, I can go and say that this is not me. Because my name does not have those. So this is a problem that we need to address and make sure that every time that talks about me, the spelling of my name is correct. So the accuracy of that is important. Completeness, that if I have your address, I don't have just Porto. I have that you live into Rua Acácia, número 25, Porto, Matinhos, e eu esqueci o resto. Mas tem todo o endereço, não tem só um detalhe do endereço. Consistência. Se o país é... Oh, sorry. I forgot to say that sometimes that breaks. But thank you for catching me on this right away. Consistency. So if the country is spelled PT, everywhere should see country as PT. If the country is said Portugal, it should be Portugal everywhere. Yeah, that ensures that when you have a routing, as I had this in the past, if you have a routing looking at the country, you don't look for France and you find FR, France, França, Fran, you have everything working because you have the same value all the time. And timeless. So if the data is too old, if you have a customer there from 10 years ago and that person hasn't interacted with you in the last 6 months, you should start thinking, is this data valid for me? Do I still need this? Can I archive that? There's so many benefits on doing that. You have more storage capability. You have less stuff to go through. And I can make a whole list about it. But why does this matter? As I said to you, if you have a routing, and if you're familiar with omnichannel, if you have an omnichannel looking for a specific criteria in order to route to your different teams, and that criteria doesn't match, you will be coming back over and over again. If you have case resolutions and you're trying to escalate things or you're trying to do your milestones, you might have issues over there as well. So you see, it's not just the agent. The agent is one digital person that you put in front of your customer or in front of your users in order to get assistance. But there is a whole underbelly that you need to care about. Yeah? Impact of poor data quality. I pretty much already said to you. It's gonna duplicate your customers' effort. It's gonna create a poor experience for your users and your customers. So in your example, Arthur, I'm gonna pick on you. On the Ascendix example, he was talking about the real estate agent. What if the agent is selling him a property that is no longer in the market? That could be because the data is outdated, because the data is not correct, because the data is not valid, right? So that it creates a problem because now he has a customer that is ready to buy and there's nothing there that it can be construed as fake advertisement. That's a legal problem to be accountable for. Yeah? We have tools like duplicate management validation rules that ensure that you have your most accurate data, but it's not enough. Data quality starts with us. From the data that we insert in the system, and for the many times you're gonna look through that data and make sure that the data is accurate. Oh my God, but how am I gonna clean up? It takes too long. Yeah, but there is things that you can do today that are gonna result in the future. If you have your customer country or address incorrect, there's a simple step you can do to get that correct next time. Next time the customer calls you, you say, oh, okay, before I go do that, could you check your address for me? Is this a still valid address? Can you update this address for me? A couple more minutes of your agent on the phone, but you have the correct address updated in the system. Yeah? So this is a way for you to keep data quality in place and being updated as you go. Identifying the gaps is another important thing. You have your use case. You identify that you, in this case, Coral Cloud was seeing that the cases were being escalated to the human agent when they could be addressed. And the problem is there was a gap between the data of the rescheduling of events and the record of the contacts. So by identifying where is the gap, what is missing, identifying the limits of the access for the agent, those were different ways to find out how we can clean up this data and bring this up. What Data Cloud can help you with this is because when you bring data into Data Cloud and you create your data streams or you create your calculated insights, you can bring that into batches or dynamically and have that data, the most updated data in your system. By using the identity resolutions, you can identify what is the incorrect data, what is that I want to update, and then have always that cleaned up for your users in the systems. There are bias. We all have bias. And let's face it, there are different ways that the bias comes out. Bias also coming in your data. We have a timeline, so we might just cut corners because we are in a rush. But it's important that we don't leave that impact us. So identifying the segments that we no longer need, what we can replace, what we need to update, would help us to be more conscious about what is the real data that we actually need to use. And plug in the gaps. We identify the gaps, we identify our bias. Now, how do we clean up that? How can we combine the structured and unstructured data? So if you use Agentforce, to bring back to your example, if you're using Agentforce, you can create a data library inside Agentforce. So using that unstructured data via Data Cloud or using RAG, that is, and of course, right now I'm going to forget what RAG stands for, but it's Retrieval Augmented Generated. Yes. And when you use that, you can bring faster and more data inside your prompt or your Agentforce as well. So when you use those combined with Data Cloud, you have potential of audit, you have potential of analytics, you have potential of better quality of data. And as I said to you, the key thing about Data Cloud is because it allows you to harmonize, to integrate that, creating one single profile for your customer or one single profile for your data, so you know what is that you need to look at instead of multiple different apps or different sources to find the information about that. Governance, it's something that is absolutely key. We all live in Europe, or we heard about GDPR. We heard about compliance. I worked in finance. I worked in healthcare. I worked in education. There are so many different regulations and compliance that you need to fulfill in order to ensure that private information is not shared, or is not shared outside a country, or is not shared outside a specific setting. I work in a highly regulated company right now. So there are requirements that I need to fulfill in order to just be here to talk to you. So governance and compliance is part of our lives. It needs to be part of our mindset. If I'm doing this, how am I applying this? If you come from that perspective, all your work is simplified because all your data will be prepared to be compliant. And access and control. Another benefit is because you can have role-based access, you can have field-level security and policies within Data Cloud that also ensure that your data is used by those who need to access to. So those are the benefits of Salesforce, particularly Service Cloud that we're talking here today, and Data Cloud. But operationalizing the data governance, you need to define policies. And if you've been to an Agentforce presentation, you heard about the trust layer, where Agentforce is below this trust layer, meaning that nothing goes outside Salesforce and nothing is used for training outside Salesforce. So that means that you define the policies, you define what can go, what cannot go, and you can have that control, monitor this to make sure that your data is secure. Bringing everything together, this is a mock-up. It doesn't necessarily look like this, but what I want to highlight for you is I can have my agent having a console and looking at the information of a case, have all the information from multiple sources in one single place for the person agent resolving this case to know all the details that has to be to know about this person. And how this brings us to this. Data is a fuel for everything you do in your days. We are data. I read somewhere that if you're not paying for an app, you're paying with your life because you're giving away all your data. So data is power, data is money. So you want to make sure that the data that your customers are using, the data that you are using, is really driving correct information, is driving engagement, is driving information. And that's why it matters. It matters that we do every day a little bit to make sure that our data is better. It matters that we do every day the checks on it. If you haven't catch my drift yet, it's a cyclical thing. It's never one and done. You're gonna do today, 3 days back, you're gonna come back to the same cycle. You're gonna always come back to that because data needs to be priority for the organizations. There is a lot of money staying in the rooms because people don't prioritize data management. And audit. So don't just leave things there. Come back. Do like the manager at Coral Cloud. Go back and see why things are not performing as I expected. What were the questions that I was having? Why is those questions not being answered? What other questions I forgot to ask? So in your example by example is awesome. In your example, you said, oh, we went to our customers and asked several different questions. And I bet with you that you didn't ask the same question over and over. You asked perhaps the same questions in many, many different ways to find the things that the people were not saying, but it was implied in the statement. Create a roadmap. I love the roadmap, and that's why I'm picking on you so much today. But he had a roadmap. He identified the problem. He then started developing. Then he engaged the audience, right? Who's going to be using. Then he had a concern about user interface. All those are important. As important as the data, it is bringing users engagement early. Communication, because that will drive adoption. And if you build an amazing system and the user doesn't adopt, you should be asking what is missing. So, questions? Hi.
What do you think about data normalization in this agentic world when everything is come to the agents and you do not distinguish data?
That's a loaded question. But the thing is, we have a lot of data sources. Yeah? The one thing you don't know yet about this presentation is this presentation was created with AI. Do you think I just got from AI and I put it here? To your point, there was a lot of information thrown to the agent in there, to the AI solution that I use, and it created a presentation for me. But that presentation was actually one topic out of 7 that original presentation came to me. So I had to break down and see, does it make sense, all those 7 topics? How can I break it down? And then I start working with the agent. What I'm trying to tell you is that there is a lot of data. You need to be careful choosing your large language models that you're using in your agent. You need to be careful about how you ground that into your Salesforce organization, what types of unstructured data you're bringing in, but also be very, very careful about what is the problem that I'm trying to solve. I kid you not. People would come to you and say, talk to so-and-so because they need a new object being created for this. And then you talk to that person and that person literally needed a report. That happened to me. So be careful about what you bring it in, how you point your agent. If you go into agent in a prompt builder, by example, you have many different types of large language modules that you can choose and get completely different data source from there. Oh, like results from there. Yeah?
So you've been around for a while, and so have I, but I've been in the nonprofit space for a while. And prior to that, the biggest obstacle to good and complete data was actually a lack of executive sponsorship, and particularly resistance from sales organizations. With the up-and-coming AI world and agents, has that changed, or are you still battling to get corporations to prioritize data quality and have the end user understand that data completeness is important?
It's still a battle. And I think it's still going to be for a while. As much as Salesforce on the private sector for the past 4 or 5 years has been more and more incisive in talk about data quality and data improvement. Particularly with Agentforce, we've been more strongly advising people to care more about their data because it's crucial. If you sat down in my class within the last 5 years, you heard me saying, please put a description when you create a field. Please. Because what happens is you get promoted, you change jobs, and whoever comes after you have no clue what that field is about, or you forget after 6 months. So if you simply put based on the case number X, anyone can go to the case number X and understand what case number X is and extrapolate why this field exists. But, and I by my own experience like yourself, it's a fight for you to get executive sponsorship because they're still saying, oh, it's too much time, too much money, too much effort to clean data. That's why I'm telling you, don't wait to get it there, Put this as a conscious, like on your head. Every day, I need to be careful about my data. Because if you start from this point, then your data is going to be good in the long run. Oh, yeah. Just one more thing I want to say you, if you don't have any questions. If you want to join me at Portugal Dreaming, I will be talking about retrieval augmented generator. And we're actually going to be doing a hands-on, and that will be our official Salesforce presentation. So it's going to be slightly different. But we're actually going to be doing a hands-on session where we will dive into Data Cloud, create a library, and bring RAG into our agent. So it will be lots of fun. I hope to see you there. I put a couple of resources over there that you can take a look. And feel free to find me on Trailblazer Community, on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm free to talk in the end as well if you want.
Very good. All right, so many thanks to all of you. So now we are going to the Kahoot. You can, again, install the app, or you can go to a browser and put a code that you will get very soon.
One eternity later.
We have a very special prize, and it is a ticket to Portugal Dreaming, okay? And it's worth €100, so. Woo. Okay, everyone, yeah? Can I start? All right. So you know the drill. You need to look at the question, you give an answer, and it takes, of course, you need to have the correct answer, and within the fastest time possible to actually be able to win. Yeah? Let's go. If you fail the first three, you know. Oh, this is very nice. Okay. In which year was this group created? 2010. Yeah? Did you fail? Who? Oh my God. So let me just, 2018 was Salesforce Saturday, but not this group. Yeah, sorry guys. I told you. Anna. And I know it. Who's Anna? Okay, very good. I know answers. Who's I know answers? Oh, I don't. Where will it take place? Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay. Very good. Next. When is the event scheduled to take place? Oh, yeah, the date. I just told you. Why is it always blue? It's because of the city of Porto? Is it a coincidence? 27th of June. Yeah, you can come, but I don't know if we are here, but okay, Nuno. Who's Nuno? Ah, muito bem. All right. So, next. Now it's Titan, I think, right? Oh no, what's this? Which of the following best describes Ruth? Who's Ruth? The elephant. Oh, this is a difficult one for the... Yeah. Is it blue again? I'm not sure. Yep. I think no one, yeah, this was a difficult one. This was a difficult one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, before we proceed, can we pause this? Yeah? So, for who doesn't know, these things here, they represent a type of whatever, cloud or whatever. Cloud, can I say cloud, Mrs. Salesforce? Okay. So, and these are, you know, it's like those stickers, right? So they are these stickers from Andrea. So they are, yeah, for the Salesforce geeks, this is like a huge thing. Yeah, right? Yeah. But okay, but this where is she? Here. This is quite recent, right? Yeah, a few years. Okay, I know answers. Yeah, very good. Clearly. Next one. Multiple choice. What does Titan do? Manufacturer of bikes? No. Payment integration, forms and portal, email automation. Oh, this is also difficult. Choose 3. It goes very slow, see, it's difficult. Yeah. Tem, mas não sei. Yeah, it's difficult. It's very, yeah. It's a little bit tricky. Yeah, but Titan likes to trick us always. I don't know why. There goes no answers. Sherry. There's a song. Sherry. 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 I'm sorry. Is that your name? Okay, Sergi. Okay. Oh, are coding skills required? Quick. Sorry. Okay. And again, blue. All right. Very good. Ivo. O nosso Ivo. Ah, very good. What are the advantages of Titan for implementation teams? Ooh. Okay. I hope no one chooses this one, right? Oh my God. I think someone is gonna press on the blue button. Yes. Oh, no. Okay. Very good. Okay. Interesting. What tools can Titan efficiently replace? Duh. Ah. So, yeah. Sorry. It was clear. Ivo, very good. Muito bem. What does the M in MAPS framework stands for? Miguel. No. Maximize. Map the. Not bad. Map the problems. Okay, nothing changed at the top. What is the main goal of Align with People step? Long answer, so it takes. Yeah. Very good. Blue. You did it on purpose, right? Everything is blue. Okay. In the personalized solution step, what's the most important? Very slow answer. Yeah. They're big answers. Yeah. You want to make it difficult, Arthur, right? No, it's not difficult, but it takes a long time to read. So, yeah, very good. Oh, nothing changed. Exactly the same. Who are the founders of Ascendix Technologies? No. Oh, I like this one, Tom and Jerry. I like this one. Very good. Oh my gosh. I think someone. I think someone pressed the green button. Oh no. Okay. Nothing changed. Why is the MAPS framework valuable for consultants? Yep. Okay. What's a primary benefit of unifying data for agents using Service Cloud? Okay. Yep. Very good. Everyone had it good. Evo is on fire. Which of the following is considered unstructured data? Blue, 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 blue. And it's the, we only have one question now, right? Yeah. One to go. Who didn't respond? Oh, someone already stopped responding, I think. And Evo, what changed? Oh, Andrea. Last one. Which of the following is not one of the 4 key data quality dimensions? All right, big moment now. Pódio. Gonçalo. Yes, very good. Sergey. Yep. And Ivo. Very good. And Andrea and Nuno. Not bad. Okay, so Ivo. Ivo, the first well, what we always do is like the first. No, you can just choose whatever you want. I would advise not to choose the ticket for Portugal Dreaming, because that guy actually is one of the organizers also of Portugal Dreaming, so he has a free ticket. But you can choose whatever you want, or choose. No sploosh, yeah. This is just for making it nice. Então vá, vamos lá.
For my dogs, maybe.
Ok. Isso. Chegaram anteontem.
Yeah, okay.
E é muita gira, esses são os novos. Yeah. Muito bem. All right. I'm sorry. Sergey? Come, pick up your prize. What do you want? We have a free ticket for Portugal Dreaming or any of these, but not this one.
Well, I have this kind of plush.
Which one?
Like this, but more.
These ones?
Yeah, I choose.
Oh, this one. Oh, I was shocked. I thought. What? Oh, wait. You can get this also here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Gonçalo.
What are my options then?
Whatever you want in this kind of line, or a free ticket for Portugal Dreaming. No one is taking the free ticket.
In this line? Or?
Yeah, only on this line. Sorry. Look at him.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. He's very. Ah, yeah, caneta é sempre. Okay. You can choose something else. Suck. Yay! Não, posso levar a caneta. Leva a caneta. Então... Por que é que não vou a caneta? Foi o Ivo, acho. Ok. And we have two... Andrea. Eras tu, Andrea? Eras tu? Oh my God. Quem é que tu queres, amor? Anda lá. Quem é que tu queres? Queres um free ticket para Portugal? Tu já tens tudo. Tu não precisas...
Não, eu quero essa Paulo.
Queres? Yes! A sério?
Sério? Eu já tinha dito, porque eu quero levar pra mim.
cada um, Sr. Miguel.
É que eu quero...
Exato.
Pra mim é que... Ah, então tá, dá pra mim.
Very good. And Nuno. Rapaz. You take the ticket. Oh! Ticket. Boa! No, tens é que... Anyway, thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can just ask us. And now I think we have, again, thank you very much, Ascendix, for being our host. Thank you very much, Titan, for being our sponsor. Thank you very much, Roan, right? Sorry. Roan, Andrea or Andrea? Anyway, thank you very much for being here, and of course thank you very much for also being here, and yeah, and the technical stuff. It looks thank you very much. Yeah, love. Well, let's go now to there. Okay.